Welcome back to Factorio Seablock, and it's time to take a look at some of the older parts of the factory, I think. I'm a little bit short on some of the circuits here, but we should be able to fix that. There's a shortage for these, and if you trace it all the way back through all of this, it goes through the resin, because there's no resin coming out of here. That's going through the liquid resin, going through formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is going from green metal catalysts. That's tracing back all the way here, because all the way back here, we're not just producing enough aluminium ore from there. And of course, that's the shortage for the aluminium ore on the other side as well. So we've got to sort that out first, and that really is down to a shortage of water, believe it or not. Water is not terribly hard to get, but if you look over here, well, I'll come back onto the tour of the top section because we've just changed some stuff up there that'll be worthwhile looking at. Down here, I've not enabled all of these yet. There's little three at the bottom. But if you have a look, purified water is out. So I've just built a hydro plant here, and I'm just going to extend that again with another hydro plant. Yeah, let's just build one. And hopefully two of these should be enough. If not, we can always jump to another one, but this should be enough, I think. Let's give this a go. Let's copy and paste and just hook up the systems. So just like a refinery, you want to set this up such that you can set underground like this, and then this one can also be clarified, and you just need a bit of power, and that should get started, assuming that we actually connect up the input, not just to the edge. There we go. So yep, that pump is more than able to keep up with that. And now is the water starting to build? Well, maybe a little. If we have a look at our inputs and our outputs here, mineral sludge is nearly nicely finished, and inputs, we've got lots and lots and lots of slag slurry. So I'll leave that for a minute or two, and I'll just show you the rest around the factory, and obviously I'll build more hydro plants if we need them. So here we've got just a bit of restructuring going on. I was just waiting for various belts to empty, because we're now no longer having one belt and splitting and stuff like that. We're just going to have two belts running all the way from the top. I'll need to reroute them around this area again. But that's no big deal, because if we trace back here now, you'll see there are now two belts coming all the way. All of these electrolyzers that were here are gone. Nothing left of them. That was right at the start of the game, if you remember. That's where we started out. And then the same thing's going to come true here. I've just been waiting for that to finish getting rid of all the stuff on this belt. So I'll get rid of... Whoops. Nope, I want to get rid of that belt. Get rid of this one. Okay, and all that's gone. This is now emptied as well, the old belt location. And that should not take very long to finish. There we go. So if I zoom out, you'll see we've now got two banks of these. And I've started to extend outwards for maybe even a third bank. We're getting quite close to the biters over there, but we've got the same setup in both. Just copied and pasted the blueprint. And our little handy little nanobot construction bots did the rest of it for me. So we've got both of these lines coming out of here, going all the way down to our factories down there. I am tempted now to sort of build into this design a block at the bottom here that's composed of these chemical plants that produce slag slurry. It does mean, however, if I do that, then we also need the other ingredient. The other ingredient for slag slurry to be produced is sulfuric acid. So that comes through this chain here, which comes out of this. So, excuse me one second, I need to cough. Here we go. Excuse me. The first washing plant produces hydrogen sulfide, and that is what we're converting over into sulfur, if I remember correctly. Yep, that's coming out of there. And then we're converting that over into sulfuric acid, which is what's feeding these chemical plants, which is what's feeding these chemical plants. And of course, the whole thing is fairly well encapsulated. The only thing that's coming out of this is oxygen. And oxygen, it was running all the way through these, from these plants over here that were the electrolyzers. But that's no longer the case, so I could remove a lot of the old pipework. And now it's just coming straight from this electrolyzer and nothing else. And you'll see it's pretty low because, you know, we don't really use it elsewhere. So what I may well do is even take it out of here if we're not using it anywhere else, and maybe feed this copper pipe here with oxygen in it. Is it oxygen? Yeah, oxygen. And maybe make an extension to this where we have these systems. And indeed, you know, we should have more than enough of this. Now, currently we are directly getting rid of these. We're just flare stacking everything we can. We don't necessarily need to do that. I think all we need to really do to fix it is just basically put these behind 80% overflow valves, and then we'll have an oxygen flow system. And from there, I think we can just remove that entire plant, unless we're using the... Are we using the hydrogen for something? See that pipe right there? That is going all the way down here, all the way across, and into the same system. So yeah, we're feeding it all into there. So there is an opportunity to clean all of this area out that I'm circling with my mouse, well, squirting with my mouse, and move it all back up there. And all this chain of slag that comes out of here and gets produced will just devolve to just a single pipeline, or maybe two, of slag slurry coming down here instead. So I've sort of allocated myself about half an hour before I start recording of cleaning this stuff up. So this is how we've ended up with this at the top. And I will also be doing this again over here as well. So we should end up with quite a clean system. And as I sort of simplify each system, I will show you them just so you've got, so you know what I've been doing. But underneath here, we'll then have some room, or maybe alongside it or something like that. And that can then be simplified, and hopefully it's easier to see in your head. Now over here, I've also put down one of the new solar panels. Remember we were making solar panels to make the lab upgrades? Well, I've cut the lab upgrades off now because I've got 6 in my inventory, 6 of the prerequisites somewhere. There they are. And I just need a few other things. I need some red circuits, and that's a bit low. But these are made, so these can output about 106 versus about 60, and they're only 1 block increased. So for the same area, well, for very similar areas, we get not a doubling, but you know, it's something like an extra. What would that be? Probably an extra 80% power. For an increase in area of not 80% basically. So it's probably more efficient to go to these large solar panels. And if we have a look at the solar panels we can do, there is going to be Mark IIs and Mark IIIs later, but if you have a look at this, the solar panels just take different levels of ingredients. And of course in Seablock, our main restriction is land area. So there we go, maximum power output 106, solar panel is 60, small solar panel is 26, and this is the middle kind, the solar panel. Okay, so 60 to 106, that's pretty good. Yeah, so I think we'll probably make these in the future, which means I think they're up here. Yeah, so this crate only has 1 more in it, but we may as well put it down, I guess. And as we get through more stuff, then we will be able to go from there. So that can go down there. And of course, we'll rearrange them as we get to more efficient means. Okay, now I need to go and just check that hydro plant, and let's see if that's actually solved our shortage problem, because that's all the way down here, and hopefully it will, because then the rest of the factory should start back up again. I can see that the factory has not started back up. Well, sort of, around about there. The rhubarb is, let's have a look. Oh no, we're getting mineral sludge, yeah. So that must mean, have we got enough water? We do have enough water, good. So that's that shortage solved. Let's go over to our rhubarb, and some of it is not making it through to our aluminium. It's all being used up because we're pretty much using lead now. So I think what I'm going to do is just split it right here. Okay, and I'm just going to divert half. Okay, so some is always going to make it down here, and from here, that's fine. We can extend this as well just by putting more of these crystallizers in. I may even need more room to actually do that, but yeah, we're getting some this way now. Okay, and how much land do I have? Only about 1,000, I think. I think I was using it all just to expand everything. Fine, onward to the next thing. And it looks like the next problem is actually going to be that problem. We do actually need to solve the aluminium issue. It's being used for a bunch of stuff, and it is holding back red circuits, which is the main draw right now. We need red circuits here. And we can solve green circuits, but aluminium plate is one of those things we need in here. So to get that going, what we're going to do is, I think I'm just going to grab a lot of these basic circuits. And we should be able to make more crystallizers from that. There we go. So crystallizers. 3, and then I'm running out of stone bricks. So stone bricks we need to solve permanently. I was actually running out of them in the box over the top. And to solve that, it's not hard. Stone is just... or stone brick, let's see. Let's just go through FNEI. And we may well need to consider this for concrete later. Let's see what else. Stone walls, concrete. Yeah, it's one of the ingredients for concrete, and we will be needing that. We will need the concrete research, of course, but that also needs iron ore and water, but otherwise it's straightforward. Anyway, stone bricks, only one recipe comes from stone. Only one recipe comes from crushed stone, which comes from slag, but also from other things. Now, a lot of the time above or around the factory, we're actually taking crushed stone and we're outputting it into something that's making sand instead. However, we can just make it directly, I guess. One of the ways is just to basically process all the geodes that we have, and they are sort of side byproducts of converting those into crystal dust. Let's take a look. Is there anything that we have that's reasonable? Blue geodes. They just need geoprocessing. Now, do we have that on the research? Geoprocessing 1, yeah. So we can convert that and get some crushed stone out of it, which is fine. I have been boxing that stuff up now. It's down at the bottom end of the factory here. We've got lots. So we can convert all that over into a lot of crushed stone, and we can get some stone bricks out of that as well, just as a nice byproduct. I've got a feeling I do that somewhere else as well, not just this one. I think it's down here. Yeah, is that the box? Yeah, so we've not got as many of that down here because we're not producing as much. Or rather, the crotinium is just backed up. We don't know. What's it backed up by? And in fact, would that give us more stuff we want to use? Probably not. No. But it's backed up because of copper, as you might expect. So if we wanted to copper, or if we wanted to remove that issue, we could just remove that backup. But then we also start using mineral sludge as well. So we've got to take care of that that prerequisite. Anyway, let's get on with this side of things. So let's use it here. And geoprocessing is not nearly done. So let's just take a look at what we need to do that. Stone, as you might imagine, it's just going to be a furnace. Do we have steel furnaces yet? Furnace. By steel furnaces, I actually meant to say electric furnaces. I think we have steel furnaces. We need advanced material processing 2. But that is attainable, assuming that it's not blue science, because we're a bit backed up on that at the moment. But needs stone bricks, steel plates, and advanced circuits. We're a bit short of that, but that means I don't need to fuel this with anything, which makes it much handier. How many? I've got 4 advanced circuits, 4 red circuits, so that might be even doable. Let's see. We need advanced material processing though for that. Advanced material processing 2. Advanced material. Oh, of course it's blue. And it's 250 blue as well. Fine. Well, thankfully, we don't need to refuel it that often because we should be able to process a lot of this. So that's fine. Let's get this geoprocessing done. Let's get that going. So, stone bricks. Stone, crushed stone. The geode, just in a regular ore crusher will do the job. Okay, so just an ore crusher. And I usually have some of those available. Yep, so let's just actually push it straight through this system. And I assume it's that color. Yep. And you'll notice my mole that I built last episode. This is where all of these inserters come from. So should be straightforward. Yep, there it goes. So crushed stone. So we're going to make that into regular stone with an assembly machine. And I don't have any. Let's just make some. Just the regular speed ones should be fine, I think. Oh, they're going to appear in my inventory because I changed my toolbar settings. There they are. Okay. And then that's going to be a furnace around here somewhere. So do I have any furnaces in my inventory? Some default ones. I can use these metal mixing furnaces, maybe. So let's just tell this it wants to make stone. There we go. And let's actually just add some power. Some power poles. Alright, so that's going to make stone. And then this is going to make stone bricks. And then we will box them up quite nicely, hopefully. There we go. Yeah, I'll box them up inside the same thing. We shall just pick them up. Oops, that's the wrong way around. Drop tile positions there, pick up this there. And then... is that connecting upwards? It is. So I just want to move this across by one, ideally. That'll do. And I will just fill this up with 200 carbon. It will just make that as a byproduct. And then, of course, the other stuff is crystal dust. Now, despite sounding like some kind of drug, crystal dust is used for making crystal slurry, and that is going to be very, very useful. However, we don't think we have that's geoprocessing 2. That's the only thing we can do with it, but sulfuric acid we'll need. Crystal slurry, on the other hand, is really handy for another purpose. If we make that, and we've got to actually choose the right recipe here. Is it crystal seedling I actually want? I think it is. Because we can make it with ceramic filters and that will go as crystal seedling. Or we can make it with... let's have a look. I definitely want crystal seedling out of this, I think, because if we do get that, yeah, the second, here's the recipe that we get crystal seeding, and if we get that, we can turn that into different ores. Specifically, we need to make crystal catalysts, I think. Yeah, so if we take crystal seedling, we can convert it in crystal catalyst, and crystal catalysts are really, really good, because what we can do with those, if we have the research, is convert them directly into a specific kind of ore, and like aluminium ore. That will need advanced ore refining too, and is this going to be... This is going to be blue science as well. Ore refining too? No, it's not. Good. So why don't I look for the... Is it the geoprocessing we need first? Let's go back to FNAI, crystal dust. Geoprocessing 2, yes. So let's get that on the go. Yep, there we go. And we'll make use of this this stuff to essentially make even more aluminium ore, I think. So let's go back into that process. First one is going into a chemical plant of any particular kind. Fastest is sort of this advanced chemical plant, but we're going to need sulfuric acid for it. Now, do I have... I don't have really extra sulfuric acid over here. I made a tank. A little bit. But maybe the quantities we need might be a bit too much for this. We'll have to see. Because if it is, then we're going to have a problem. But we're getting this byproduct of making lead. So we can actually try that. And if not, then we can make a dedicated plant for it later. That does mean that we need to get it from that tank to down here, which is not too bad. It's not too bad. Let's actually just get a chemical plant and get everything set up. So we can't actually produce it right now. But if we set up a chemical plant just to accept that, then we just have to get a pipeline of it back down this way. And that's probably the best line right there. So let's get a chemical plant. Well, these will do for now. And someone congratulated, by the way, in a comment, just saying, yeah, great spaghetti. Yes, it is at the moment. I'm working on removing it at the top right. And it will hopefully work all the way through this factory once we get everything going. But it does take a little bit of time, especially with angels and bobs, to try and do that. Where's my chemical plant gone? Oh, I can never spot them. There they are. Okay, so if we had this, let's space this out, and let's put our inserter there, and then we can't select it yet because the geoprocessing is not done yet. But if I just go this way, it'll only need one input, so that should do fine. And yeah, we're gonna have to go over this way. And there we go. Okay, so that's sulfuric acid all the way down here and directly into the input of this, which this will naturally start up. And then our other byproducts, these can direct insert. We don't need specific inserters for these because only that input can go in there. So from the geoprocessing then, from the crystal slurry, which is what we're going to get out of this, that's going to be piped somewhere, and we're going to need to put it in with charcoal filters. Charcoal. Oh, what's the other recipe? The one which what's the ceramic filters made from? Alumina. And alumina comes from aluminium. Oxide comes from aluminium. However, do we have an excess of alumina? It's produced up here, isn't it? And we're making it because it's the only way to make the aluminium plate. Yeah, geoprocessing. Let me just find out what actually then that next piece of research is called. Crystal Catalyst, Advanced Ore Refining 2. Let's just get that started. Yeah. And this has some other recipes as well. So we can get directly to fluorite, zinc, aluminium, nickel, and silicon. Most of those we get as byproducts, but we don't have fluorite. That's okay. Where is my alumina? And are we actually got a lot of it? And ooh, that's out of fuel again. Which will help. Where's my alumina gone? Okay, my alumina is right up there on the right-hand side at the top, which is the start of our aluminium plate chain. We've got a fair amount of it, to be honest, but just both it and carbon are sort of in short supply anywhere near where we've got these. So let's get this started. I've got both of those researches done now. I did them off camera. So, well, the second one I did off camera anyway. And now we just want crystal in here. Crystal. Slurry. So we need to choose what we're going to make from this. So it's the cyan geodes, is it? In fact, no. We want the crystal dust. There we go. All right. So that's been made. And that's going to turn into a slurry now. So let's go on the next stage. That is also, let's see. This is going to be in a filtration unit. And we're going to need to, in fact, let's just check the other recipe for that. So that one's in a filtration unit. Is the other one in a filtration unit? Yes, it is. We want the crystal seedling recipe from charcoal. Yeah, that's also in a filtration unit. Fine. And from that into crystal catalyst is a chemical plant. And then it's into an ore sorting facility with givolite and rubite. Now we've got rubite chunks, or we're able to make them right here. We haven't made givolite chunks yet, and that is, we'll have to do in another episode or something. But it's an equivalent process, I think, to this one. We just have to go from givolite ore. Can we make givolite ore? Yep, we can just make it straight out of a crystallizer, just like we've done previously. So that is straightforward. It's probably going to be a carbon copy of this. So let's just leave that alone for now. So let's get the filtration sorted out. And it needs stone bricks. Oh, well, it might need more stone bricks than that. Yes, it does. Fine, I've got some stone brick. I've got the last vestiges of stone bricks over here. I've got a box that will be going away very, very soon. And yeah, where is the box? It's just there. 56 stone bricks remaining. Okay, so and all this to make stone bricks. I mean, it gets us a lot more important stuff anyway. So having a side box of stone bricks somewhere, I don't mind too much about. So that is great. Fine. So filtration. And let's just make one of those, and then another chemical plant. And one of those. Oh, that's a chemical furnace. Don't want a chemical furnace, I want a chemical plant. There we go. So as my filtration unit, there it is. Is it huge? It is, of course, huge. Let's see what it's in, where its inputs and outputs will go. Why are you not letting... Oh, I'm stood on you. Fine. Let's give it a little bit of room. 2, 3, I want to say. And then let's see what we can do. Okay, so we want crystal slurry, and we've got a choice of which filter we want to actually do. We get more if we get charcoal filters, although per time we'll get more if we do ceramic filters. Not that I'm too worried about time at the moment, but okay. Maybe I should leave that to a ceramic filter. And what are the options here? We want the seedling out of this, so we want that one. Okay. So here we need a few things. We need some water, and that's straightforward to get. We've done that before. We do need to output this, so that should hopefully get that going a little bit more. And now so purified water. That's again very, very straightforward. Do I have any water nearby before people start complaining that I make another water? Yes, we do. In fact, it's coming back over here anyway, which... Oh, look at that. That never happens. How is that? Okay, I'm not going to complain. That just never happens to me. Except this time. So we just need ceramic filters. Fine. And then out of this, we will get 2 things. We're going to get... is it fluoric? Let's have a look. Filter frame... ceramic filter, we're going to get sulfuric wastewater, and we use that quite commonly elsewhere. So we could process that or clarify it, and then from the crystal seedling, we just want to go straight into a plant. Now that seems to think that's an actual output that is liquid. If it is, it's a little bit odd, but I'm not gonna complain. Let's get that chemical plant. And which output are you? So seed. Oh, it's not the seedling, is it? It's the catalyst. Either one, isn't it? That's the only input. So let's just pop you there. Just give ourselves a little bit of room. Catalyst. Okay, and that is then a solid item that we're going to be using next to these and next to where I put the other plant. So yeah. Having it available, and we'll probably put it onto a belt from there. That means what have we got left to deal with? Well, we've got to clarify this. So do I have enough for a clarifier? Yes, I do. I'll just clarify it for now, and we'll decide what to do with it later. And that leaves the ceramic filters. So ceramic. So we need the alumina and a filter frame. Filter frames generally are quite cheap to make. I think they're just iron. So filter frame. Yeah, they are just iron. So I'm just going to pocket craft some while I'm moving around. They do get recycled, so you don't have to worry about dealing with them. Other than initially, of course. And let's get this clarified, just so that we have the output dealt with initially. Whoops. There we go. And now I want some alumina, and I've got plenty of inventory space, so why don't I just go and snatch them out of this box. And that's fine. I'll go and put them in a box down here. Somewhere. How are we going to actually produce these, though? Because I don't want to do this manually. I want it to be automatic. So now we just need ceramic. So we can just change the filter on FNEI. So ceramic filters turn into spent ceramic filters. And can they get pushed back round? This is the recipe. So spent. We have to add more purified water, which is straightforward. And we get a ceramic filter back. Great. That's exactly what we want. So then we... Actually, is that... Yeah, that's reusable. So I don't need that much alumina. That's even better. Okay. So we're going to need another are we going to... No, we're not going to need another filtration unit. We're just going to need assembly machine, and that's about it. A couple of assembly machines. I like that idea already. I can probably put this stuff back, of which, of course, I need electronic circuits. And that's pretty normal. I end up in a shortage whenever I want them. I should get them boxed up somewhere else as well. I must make sure I'm not trying to grab Atmos units again. Nope, this is circuits. I'll just grab some of these. Okay. Assembling. Let's get a couple of those. And let's build this near our purified water again. It can be right down here. We're going to want them here. So our purified water is here already. So I've got a little bit of space here. I could put it here for now. Nowhere else seems reasonable, really. Oh, well, I can get the purified water here. I just have to get the stuff that side, which is doable as well. Okay, so let's just get the purified water here. And let's just grab that. Okay, so purified water. That's going to go into this. And let's get the filter. We are going to make regular ceramic filters from spent ones there. And turn that. And then we're going to get spent ones. We're going to have to pull them out of this and push them back in, aren't we? Is that going to work? Well, let's actually just make some ceramic filters first of all, because I think I'm going to need to do that just to kick this all off. What are we short of? Alumina? What did I pick up? Sodium hydroxide? Really? Okay, that was the wrong box. Yeah, let me put that back and grab the alumina, wherever that is. Is there another box? Is there another box right next to it? Is that the sodium hydroxide? It is. Let's put that away. The alumina is not being boxed up anywhere. It's just being produced whenever I get a little bit of aluminium. Yeah, I'm going to need to deal with that. I want to stop this from being inserted, and I just want to get some alumina out of this. So I'm going to need some aluminium ore for this and force it over here. Are we getting any out whatsoever? It's on this belt right here. Oh, there's some. I should only need a tiny bit to actually start this off, because we just recycle everything essentially. Is that aluminium ore? Looks like it. Am I splitting this in some way? I think I'm splitting it by inserter somewhere, something like that. Yeah, 4 aluminium ore. Okay, how many does that alumina need? Shouldn't need very much at all. Has to go through here first. I just removed the aluminium ore. Does it need 10? That's annoying. Okay, I'm going to have to wait a little bit while I get more ore, and then I can start off that filter. Okay, so here we go with our batch of 24 alumina, and I'll just put those inserters back again, because I will want it to resume making those automatically. And that's straightforward now, so we can make these ceramic filters. I'm just going to make 10 for now. I mean, we'll put that alumina back in the system. And I did move the factory, the assembly machine back here, and we've just got a couple of inserters here that are picking up and putting this back, and then this one is just putting it back into the filtration unit. Okay, we could make up some more room just by putting some underground belts here, but it's not really needed with Angels and Bob's inserters. So let's put them in here. That should kick off production. And then we're actually going to rotate this, and I've got these the wrong way around, haven't I? In fact, no, I have got them the right way around. It's just that I need to grab them from another inserter. So let's just grab this inserter, and we'll tell it to pick up drop the correct way around. And this one's going to have to do the same thing. Oh, no, not lead. No, I want you to grab stuff from here. In fact, we don't even need that first one. We're just going to pass it from one thing to another. Pick up, drop. There goes the spent inserters. This can go back down now. And this can then... I need to select one more. Okay, and there we go. So that is recycling the inserters. Looks a little bit crazy, but it is actually working. The outputs are being clarified. This is being turned into crystal catalyst. Great. So next episode, I think we're going to get onto using this crystal catalyst. But for now, because it's the end of the episode, I've just run out of time, unfortunately. We're going to box this up and make sure we have plenty of it on hand to use when we get to next episode. So let's just make sure that's all put into the box. And that's being produced. We're producing quite a lot of that for quite a little. So what's, let's see, what's the aluminium ore recipe again? Aluminium ore. Yeah, it's not in here. I wish it would actually recognize that properly. Aluminium, yeah. There we go. So 2 jivolite chunks, 2 rubyite chunks turns into 4 aluminium ore. If we just did rubite chunks themselves, we would only get 1 aluminium ore out of 6. Okay, so assume these are equal, then, you know, in terms of raw resources to get them in the first place, it's sort of like 4 chunks for 4 aluminium ore instead of 6 for 1. Much, much better at producing aluminium. So that, I think, is going to be definitely the next stage we need to go to. I need to build another set of sort of crystallizers for jivolite, and then we should be able to just combine this. We can probably put it down here, in fact, somewhere, and then combine this, ship this out, stop feeding this jivolite. Well, we may need some of them here, but we can set another set of these things up once I get another set of crystallizers, maybe dedicated line for aluminium. Another set of crystallizers up here, and then we're maybe to bulk up our machines over here to produce mineral sludge, and I think we're running short again. Let's just double check. Slag slurry is full, mineral sludge is okay, but it is only the overflow at the moment, see, because this is on this side, there's relatively little coming through, so we're not, we're producing lots and lots of iron and copper, but we're not backed up on that yet, so it is pushing relatively little through the system. I could just take that valve out and put a bypass there or something along those kind of lines if we wanted to, but we can just as easily extend these systems out and get more ore out of them. In any case, that will be for the next episode, I think, and getting some pure aluminium out of the systems, and that's going to be a general system we should do for other things as well. For example, pure gold and other things like that. It seems that these green catalysts will be produced quite fast, at least until we run out of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is still okay at the moment, so we're probably producing relatively little of it, and otherwise we're just chewing through the geodes. However, we will eventually run out of geodes, but they are supplied by the same thing that produces the chunks. So I'm hopeful that the other side of things, the jivolite chunks, will also produce other geodes that we can feed into this. That'll then produce the crystal dust, drug or not, and then it will go into this sort of setup on the other side and feed into the same chain, the slurry that we're going to be using. Of course, we can move this all out later and make it a lot neater, but for now, that's up and running, and we've got crystal catalysts. As always, feel free to like, subscribe, share, etc. if you like the episode. Otherwise, I will see you next episode for some more Factorio Seablock. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.